Hi everybody, in this video we'll be starting with the most important questions and topics of civics. Plus I'll also explain you the chapters in brief. So we will start with the president first. If I talk about the president, he is the executive head or the supreme commander of the defense forces of India. These are some basic terms which you have to learn. Then we will move on to the important topics, that is the qualification of president. If you don't know, he should be a citizen of India. He should have completed 35 years of age and he should be qualified for election as member of the Lok Sabha. There are these three main qualifications. Others are also important. You can also refer to the book. Next is the term, which is 5 years. See, you have to learn around 3 points. Maximum 3 points must be learned by heart so that you can write it in your answer sheet. You will get 2 to 3 mark questions in history civics paper. So according to that, you have to prepare everything. Now, election procedure, that is the indirect elections. For that, electoral college plays a very important role, in which now you have to study the composition of electoral college, in which there are the elected members of both houses of parliament, and the second is elected members of the state legislative assembly. Both houses of parliament means Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Right. Nominated members of parliament are not included in the electoral college. Now, this is a misconception about electoral college, that its composition includes the nominated members, but it's not true. Then we move on to the oath of office. Now, oath of office to the president is administered by the Chief Justice of India, CJI. Right. Next term is impeachment. Impeachment is a procedure when, if I talk about the violation of the constitution, either house of parliament can start this, and there should be a majority of 2/3 to impeach the president. And this 2/3 majority is of the total membership of the house. There should be a resolution which should be passed at least 14 days notice in writing, and it should be signed by not less than 1/4 of total member of the house. Violation of the constitution is the main thing here for impeachment. Now we come to the powers of the president of India. We have different categories here. The first one is executive, then legislative, then we come to discretionary powers, financial powers. So there are a lot of powers here. Important powers are executive, legislative, which is all related to lawmaking, and then the discretionary powers. Discretionary powers is a very important question which has been asked in the previous year question papers if you go by the 10 years. Now, veto power is next. Again, a very important concept, a term which you have to define. It means that the president can withhold his or her assent to the bills passed by the parliament. I'll just brief about discretionary powers since it's an important topic. Appointment of the Prime Minister in case of a hung parliament. The second is appointment of Prime Minister in case of sudden death. These are some discretionary powers of the president. He can appoint PM when there is a case of sudden death or a dissolution of the Lok Sabha, or maybe he can dismiss ministers in case the Council of Ministers loses the confidence of the House but refuse to sign. So you have to learn all of these discretionary powers from your book. I'll move on to this next chapter, the Vice President. The questions we did above are similar to what will be asked here also, like qualifications or the term. So all these basic terms. For qualifications, you know that he should be a citizen of India, and then he should have completed the age of 35 years, should be qualified for election as member of Rajya Sabha, and should not hold any office of profit. There are many other qualifications. You can write any 3 or 4. Try to learn maximum 4. And yes, if a question comes, who is the ex-officio chairman of Rajya Sabha, then the vice president is the answer. And the term for the vice president is same as the president, that is 5 years. Moving to the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. You know about a real executive and nominal executive. Real head is the Prime Minister. Nominated head is the President, just like the monarch, which we previously had. And Prime Minister is directly elected by the people of India, but President is elected by the Electoral College, which constitutes of the Houses of Parliament. Okay, so the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. Prime Minister is the real executive, while the President is the nominal. Now they may ask you about the Council of Ministers, in which you should be clear about Cabinet Ministers, Ministers of State, and the Deputy Ministers. If I draw the order of preference, then Cabinet are the most important members of the Council of Ministers, and they hold important positions like your Railway Minister, Health Minister. Now, if I ask you a question about the term of office, the ministers hold office during the pleasure of the President. But the President has little power even in this regard because the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers are directly responsible to the Lok Sabha and can remain in the office as long as they enjoy the majority support in the Lok Sabha. Right? Now, who administers the oath of office to the Council of Ministers? So the answer here is the President of India. Make sure that you read Prime Minister and its relations, the position and powers of Prime Ministers, Prime Minister and the President, relation of Prime Minister and the Cabinet, then inside the Parliament. He is the chief spokesperson of the government, Prime Minister. This is a very important definition, collective responsibility, which is under the Article 75. And it says the Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the House of People. The decisions taken in the meetings of the Cabinet are equally applicable to all ministers, even though they may differ among themselves on a particular policy. Next is ordinance, then no confidence motion. Difference between Cabinet and Council of Ministers, then powers of President, which is a very frequently asked question. Now we'll move on to the Supreme Court, High Court and Subordinate Court. The composition, it includes Chief Justice of India and not more than 33 judges of the Supreme Court. Make sure to read the qualifications and then about the appointments. Who appoints the Chief Justice of India? The answer is President. The term of office. A judge of the Supreme Court shall not hold office above 65 years of age. Impeaching a judge of the Supreme Court is not an easy task. But the first ever move in the history of India to impeach a judge of the Supreme Court was the motion to impeach Justice V. Ramaswamy. Now, next is jurisdiction. So we have original, appellate, advisory, revisory, all these types of jurisdictions. You can just read them. You'll come to know what is the basic idea. Then judicial review. Now the Supreme Court is the interpreter of the Constitution and its decision is final. It has the powers to review laws passed by the union or state legislatures. The Supreme Court can declare a law ultra vires, that is null or void, if it is against the letter and spirit of the Constitution or it violates any provision of the Constitution. So this is judicial review. Now talking about writs, we have different writs. Examples are habeas corpus, mandamus, and then so on. I'll just write them. Habeas corpus, mandamus, writ of prohibition, writ of certiorari, quo warranto. These are some writs which you have to learn. They may ask you as one-word questions. Then difference between Court of District Judge and Sessions Court. A very important question. Then Lok Adalats. 1 marker or 2 marker can be asked. See, for Supreme Court, it is like 65 years of age, okay? For High Court, it is 62 years of age, the maximum age limit for the judge. Name the highest criminal court in a district. So the answer is Sessions Court. They'll ask you the difference, then you'll write for Court of District Judge, it is highest civil court of the district, while Sessions Court is the highest criminal court of the district. Now, this is presided by district judge and Sessions Court is presided by a sessions judge. The differences are very easy. The district judge decides civil cases related to land, property, money transactions, and etc. While Sessions Court decides criminal cases like murders, theft, pickpocketing, etc. Moving to Lok Adalats, this is known as People's Court. And it provides legal aid and quick justice to those who are not in a position to engage lawyers, to eliminate high costs and delays in imparting justice. So these Lok Adalats are very handy and they mainly settle small civil cases, settlement of minor cases of assault and injury. And yes, please study the judicial review again and also the revisory power of the Supreme Court. Make sure to practice from previous year questions. I'll be back with another video in which I'll be posting the important topics and questions of history. I've covered the civics part. Again, for history, the world history is all about different countries engaged in those world wars, and you will have to refer to previous year questions again. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day.